Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a story for you here today titled Entitled Wife Has a Complete Meltdown After Her Husband Kicks Her Out for Sleeping with His Best Friend. You know, a lot of these women, they have meltdowns, they cry, they gaslight, they manipulate, they pull out all of the stops when they get caught. And it's absolutely insane to me how women will have these reactions. But at the end of the day, they chose to cheat on their husbands. I think it is completely deserved that their husbands kick them out. I think it's completely deserved that the husbands decide to divorce them. And I would expect nothing less from men, to be honest with you. I think it's a perfectly fair boundary to have, especially in a damn marriage. But hey, what do I know? Let's jump into the story here today. Now, before we jump into today's story, I just wanted to remind you guys that I have set up a second channel, which will be linked in the pinned comment, where I will be covering daily or thereabouts videos of women who are ranting over on TikTok. A lot of you guys have been asking me where have those videos gone, and I've taken a break from making them on the main channel simply because they're so headache inducing. So for the time being, they will be over on the second channel, which will be linked in the video description. Make sure you go and check it out if you are interested. It is a 35-year-old man, and it says a 35-year-old man discovers that his wife, who is 33, had secretly been hooking up with his best friend. After he confronted her, she breaks down. Not with remorse, but outrage that he would just throw everything away, apparently. Her priorities became clear, and he makes the hardest but most freeing decision of his life. So notice what I said earlier about the gaslighting, okay? About the manipulation. What's the first thing she does? Rather than, you know, apologize or anything, or take accountability, no. We blame the guy for throwing everything away. That's what we do. That's the first line of defense. He says, I, a 35-year-old male, found out that my wife, who is 33, was hooking up with my best friend, and she was more upset about being kicked out than the actual betrayal itself. We had been married for 5 years. We had been together for 8 years. I always thought that we were solid, you know, one of those unshakable couples that everybody else envied. She had a great job in marketing. I ran my own business. And we were finally in the house we'd always dreamed of, but apparently none of that meant anything to her. This story isn't just about cheating, it's about betrayal from two people I never thought would lie to me, and what happens when you draw the line and they realize that comfort was never guaranteed. This is always the concern I have in these stories too, guys, is like, if you have kids, it will complicate these situations much worse. But these guys also, they don't have kids, but they have a house together, which also a lot of guys end up either losing or they lose way more than they should in terms of equity. So this can really screw over men in the long run when they go through these divorces, even if the woman was the one who was out here cheating on them. This is why I say, guys, if you're going to buy a house, do not buy a house with a woman. You are, of course, free to do what you like, but I would recommend strongly never to do that, in my opinion. Her name shouldn't be on anything. It shouldn't be on the lease. You know, it shouldn't be on any of the documentation whatsoever. It should be your house. He says, it wasn't obvious at first, it was just the little things. So she had the phone, started working late, of course. Her excuses were always airtight, but I still had that gut feeling. My best friend also began to distance himself. We had been tight since high school. Weekly gym sessions became maybe next week. Group hangs became rare. I didn't want to seem paranoid, but the timing felt too coincidental. So this guy, he's having his gut feelings. He's seeing the red flags. He knows what's going on here. And absolutely, in my opinion, men should be trusting their guts. Men in society right now, guys, like men are just absolutely told never to trust their guts whatsoever. He says, I found the truth in the most pathetic way. One night, I woke up at around 2 a.m. and noticed that she wasn't in bed. I figured she went to the kitchen. But when I walked down the hallway, I heard whispering from the living room and she was on her phone, so I paused. He said, I didn't mean to listen, but I heard enough. She was telling someone it's risky, but he never suspects anything. I just need to be careful for a few more weeks until things settle down. When I asked who she was talking to, she jumped like she saw a ghost. She stuttered, said that it was a work call at 2 in the morning, whispering on the couch. He says, I didn't push it that night. I waited until the next day and checked our phone bill. Jason's phone number showed up almost every single day. sometimes for hours. So what's happening, right, is while this guy is out working, or while she's out working, he said he runs his own business, so maybe he's the one working from home and she's leaving. But regardless, while they're separated, she's having these long-ass phone calls with this guy the entire time. Okay, so this guy, he honestly has everything, right? He knows what's happening. He knows that, honestly, divorce is on the table at this point. It's no joke, okay? He sees all the red flags. He sees the signs, has a bit of evidence. It's a wrap as far as I'm concerned. Let's continue. So she didn't even try to deny it, apparently. I confronted her that evening, laid it out clearly and calmly. I asked if she was hooking up with him, and her face went blank and then defensive and then deflective. She says, "Why are you checking the phone bill? That's toxic behavior." I asked again. This time she said nothing. I didn't need her to say anything. I already knew. So I told her to pack a bag and leave. Right? So what does she do? The deflection. Why are you checking the phone bill? She calls him toxic. Okay, this is classic textbook crap here, guys, of, women who get caught doing nonsense as they try and just turn it around and blame it on the guy. Oh, how dare you? You invaded my privacy. You're a terrible man. You work all the time. Like, just absolute nonsense, okay? So he says, she didn't apologize. She didn't explain. She screamed. She said, "You're seriously throwing away everything we built over one mistake?" Oh, absolutely. She yelled about how much she'd sacrificed for our relationship, how I was being emotionally immature, how I was ruining both of our lives over something fixable. I told her this wasn't about cheating. It was about the years of trust that she lit on fire, about the fact that she didn't come clean, didn't feel guilty, and had no intention of stopping. She cried, not because she was sorry, but because she realized she was losing the house, the lifestyle, and the image. So I wonder if she actually does end up losing the house here. I really hope that she does end up losing the house. I don't think these women should get the house whatsoever. That's just my opinion. So he got Jason, which is the friend, sent a one-line apology and then went silent. He's texted me, "I messed up. I'll never forgive myself," and I didn't respond. He didn't follow up. He knew better, and I haven't spoken to him since. We'd known each other for almost 20 years. Holy hell. And he threw it away for a few stolen moments with someone I trusted to build a life with. 20-year friendship down the drain, guys. Craziness. 2 decades gone. So over the next few days, she tried everything. She called this guy's parents. She emailed him long reflections. Showed up at his office. So I'm assuming he was the one who was out working, right? Because he mentions the office here. Every message had the same undertone. How hard it would be for her to start over. How he was being cold and impulsive. Never once did she ask how he felt. Never once did she take ownership. So I filed for divorce. And she was shocked that I actually went through with it. Again, love the shock from these women as if it's not totally predictable, right? You go out here, you do something like this to someone. It's obvious that you're going to get divorced. I don't know why the shock has to come into it. He says, "It's been 3 months. I kept the house." Excellent. She moved back in with her parents. I've been seeing a therapist, hitting the gym more, reconnecting with old friends, etc. He says, "It still stings, but every day I feel a little lighter." Okay, so this guy pulled through. He did the right thing, as is expected, honestly. Divorced her ass, fantastic. But the real kicker about this story, guys, is just the way the woman handles this, okay? So she has a complete meltdown, blames it on the guy, calls him toxic, and then proceeds to essentially stalk him to try and get them to fix things. It's so incredibly stupid. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.